What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Today I'm going to go over some tips to optimize the game's performance on your machine. Now, on PC, lots of players are very familiar with going through graphic settings and making changes to games that they start playing to optimize their performance, and Dungeon Defenders Awakened will be no different. However, there are also some hidden little gems that can make a big impact on how well the game will run on your machine, of course depending on the quality of your machine. Now, it's still in early access. We haven't even hit the 1 week mark yet, and lots of optimization to come. However, right now, if you want to get a smoother frame rate, there are a few things you can do. So let's take a look through the video settings in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Now, first things first, when you first jump into your video settings and go down to Advanced, in my case, the game auto-detected pretty much everything all the way jacked up. Now, there's a few things that instantly in every game I will change to increase the performance. The number one thing is shadows. I'm going to lower the shadow quality down. Shadow quality doesn't make a big difference visually as you're running around. Obviously, when you're standing still, you can notice a massive difference between these things. But as you're playing the game, visually, if you lower the quality of the shadows, it will have a large impact and only a small impact on your actual visual effects that you see. Now, post-processing is one of those things that it's more to your flavor. I personally don't like really high post-processing, and the reason so is I just don't like too many flashes, lots of crazy bloom and things going off everywhere. I personally always turn post-processing down a little bit on my machine. However, for you, you should do that to just your own personal preference. Now, looking through the rest of the settings, another thing that can make a very large and immediate impact is volumetric fog. If you turn volumetric fog off, it can make a large impact on your performance. Then we look at lens flare and bloom quality. These are another one that can have a large impact on the performance. However, it's really to flavor. As I mentioned with the post-processing, I don't really like games with massive amounts of bloom, so I usually turn those down just a little bit. Lens flare and bloom, I'm going to drop both of those down. Now, we're at the bottom of the video settings. However, there are more things you can do to increase the impact of your performance. Now, another thing that doesn't really appear to be changing the impact very much is based on just your personal preference. Do you like the outlines? Like, if you like the outlines, then by all means leave them on. I personally like the smoother edges a little bit more myself and not the hard edges, so I usually turn the outlines off. Now, once again, do that to your own personal preference. It's not going to have a major impact on your performance. So with the outlines turned off, this is what the game now looks like with the current settings I have. Now, we can take this one step further, and two items that are kind of hidden but not really hidden that will have a large impact on your performance. And that is if you go into the gameplay section. Show damage numbers by default is going to be on, and we all love to see our damage numbers. However, once you're comfortable with how much damage your defenses are doing, if you turn this off, it is going to make a significant impact on your machine. In addition to that, the ragdoll max limit. By default, it is at 20. The ragdoll max limit is the enemies being thrown around, of course, as they're killed. This is awesome. It's completely awesome to look at. However, by toning this down a little bit, particularly on the higher survival waves where there's just always going to be 20 mobs or 50 mobs or whatever your setting is, where there are always going to be mobs flying around, if you turn this down as well, that is going to increase your performance. Now, I usually leave mine down at 0 for live streaming just to completely maximize it. However, you do that to your own personal flavor. So those two things, ragdoll settings and numbers, a lot of people wouldn't look at right away and assume that that will affect their performance. However, it can make a big difference. So if you have any tips for tweaking the performance on your machine, particularly if it's a lower end machine, by all means leave your comments down below and help out the Dungeon Defenders community with a better DDA experience. So thank you all so much. I will be live here in just a bit right here on YouTube with some insane Royal Gardens. I'm looking forward to going through that in survival, and I will see you then. So thanks so much and enjoy your day. See you soon.